Hey everybody, Tom here, and today I want to teach you how to set up a game of Paladins of the West Kingdom. Now you might be wondering, why is the camera so far away for such a small box? The answer is, because this thing takes up a ton of space. And a common complaint about this game is getting things to fit back in the box is nearly impossible. I took that as a challenge, and I have created a storage solution that I will be showing you as we go ahead and unpack and get this game set up. So for details about my storage solution I'm about to show you, you can click on the link in the description of this video. It will take you to my website, and from there you can download and see videos on how to make this stuff. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and take off the lid. Enough talking, I guess. And, one thing that I have here is I just printed off and laminated a score sheet that somebody created on Board Game Geek. It was just in the files section. Very helpful when calculating your score because, as you can see, there's a lot of different places to get points. So, yeah, anyway, I just got that off of BGG. If I remember, I'll put the link in the description of the video as well. We have a rule book here. This game is pretty big. There is a lot going on, but I do feel like the rulebook did a pretty good job of explaining stuff in manageable, reasonable ways. I did have to look up a couple of things, but that's because there are, a lot of pages. There is, several pages for solo stuff, but anyway, pretty good rulebook for what's going on. Now, let's take a look, and I will point out the things that are my storage solution. So the way I store this game is there are 6 different colors of meeples, and they don't belong to any one player. So these Plano boxes I found and I keep on hand. These are sold at my local Walmart for like $2, and they have 5 compartments, which is awesome. Unfortunately, they don't have 6 compartments for this last color of meeple, but this is how I store all of the meeples for this game. I'm not exactly sure where to put these for now, so let's just take stuff out of the box. Next up, I have created, you're going to see, this is one of the things I created, is this box to hold silver and provisions. And so silver, I went ahead and upgraded these to metal coins, and then provisions are these little cardboard bag-like things. They fit nicely in this box that has 2 trays of removable boxes, so I'm going to take those out and we will be done with the outer box. And I do like to just keep the things in the box for nice organizational purposes. Okay, so these are player boxes. Now, player components are nearly identical from one player to the next, and they're not color dependent, and so to avoid confusion about the colors of these meeples, I just have all of these boxes the same. They're all just orange, and I just pulled pictures from around the box for the covers. So we're just going to need 2 people's worth of boxes, so I'll just go ahead and keep those out. And then there are more normal size cards. There are cards in these boxes. We'll look at those soon. But there are also some green townsfolk cards and some red outsider cards in this box. And so let's just go ahead and take those out. We also have in this box a first player marker and a single card explaining some promo cards that I will be showing off in just a second. But basically in this box we have 2 decks of cards. We're going to take those out here as well. So we're basically unpacking before we start gathering things together. So as I mentioned, we have green townsfolk and red outsiders. I'm going to put these on opposite sides of the table because that's how they're going to go. And then I have this one deck of cards that is basically 2 open boxes or 2 open trays to hold these smaller cards all together like this. So you can go ahead and just take off the lid if you've made this already, and there are a lot of different decks of cards here. You can see I have them all listed here. We have debt cards, suspicion cards, tavern cards, wall cards, king's favors cards, king's orders cards, and scheme cards for solo play. So lots and lots of kinds of cards inside of this box. I'll just go ahead and take these out and make some piles. These cards with the blue background are for solo play. They look like that on the front. We're not going to need those because I'm going to be doing a 2-player game. And we're going to have some, I think these are called tavern cards. So basically just start making piles of the types of cards that we've got. We're going to have these with a red, what do you call that, wax stamp thingy. We're going to have some with the green. Then we're going to have these debt cards on one side. They look like a broken paper and a full yellow thing. Oops. And, oh, I did not put these together nicely. And on the other side, it'll have a full paper with 3 broken things down here. We want these. This pile is identical. It's just double-sided cards like that. We want these that side up. So this side up. So I'll just set those down. They won't need to be shuffled. We also have fortification cards. This is what they look like on the back. This is what they look like on the front. We're going to go ahead and give these a shuffle. I guess I could and should have shuffled the other cards. That's okay. We will get there. All right. And then we have these purple suspicion cards. Give these a quick shuffle as well. And here, while we're at it, we're going to shuffle these and these and these, just to say we did it. I guess, hey, while we're in a shuffling mood, let's go ahead and shuffle these. I always shuffle when I clean up, so I won't spend forever doing this, but just to verify things are shuffled. You'll see why I'm keeping these on the right side of the board here in just a moment. Okay, so this game, the main player area, if you set it up the way it recommends, is going to take up a lot of horizontal space. And so the main player area is actually made up of these 2 skinny boards that are currently folded in half. So I'm going to take these out. And you'll see I have just added some papers here. That's going to make pulling out the player boards easier. All of the player boards are identical on one side for the main game. And I haven't looked super closely at the other side, but that's the solo side. So like, here's the main player side. It looks like this. And if you're doing the solo mode, which I have yet to try, it's going to look like this. So it's a lot busier. There's these, and I just don't know if these solo things are different from board to board or if they're the exact same. Well, let's find out, because we're going to need 2 boards anyway. They look the same. I was almost hoping they were different, so that different solo things would have different things going on, but they don't. Okay, so we've got 2 boards, 1 for each player. So now I can get rid of the box and we can start putting stuff together. Let's start with the main play area. So these 2 boards, these skinny ones, are going to open up and they're going to form, like I said, one really long main area, and the artwork connects right here. I suppose depending on your table space, you probably could just set one board over the other board, but you're going to need to leave space in the middle because there's going to be stuff going on top and below. But for this video, we're going to be able to just lay this across the top like that. Next, let's go ahead and take the townsfolk cards that we've already shuffled. We'll just do one more. Oh, that's flipped the wrong way. We're going to go ahead and just give these another quickie. And I'm going to lay these on the left side of the board, and you're going to flip over 1 for each of these spots above it. So the green townsfolk cards go on the left side above the board like that. Then we're going to do something similar with the red cards. Just one more quick shuffle-roo. And we're going to set these on the right side of the board. And I believe there are 6 that go along the bottom. And so these are just going to go. Sorry, I know my head is so in the way right now. All right, we just go ahead and lay those there. We're going to need the coins up in this section, and you're going to, during gameplay, have 2 piles of coins. And so you're going to want most of your coins together up above, and then right here we'll say for a number of players how many coins you should pull out of the box. For 2 players, we're going to need 5 coins out of the box in this space right here. So just keep the piles separate, whatever you do, but these 5 coins need to go near here. We could go ahead and put provisions here. That looks like a great spot for it. And then let's go ahead and take these fortification cards. Again, the ones that look like this. I know I shuffled. Why am I shuffling again? I don't know. And these are going to go right there. We have these suspicion cards. There we go. And these are going to go over here in this middle purple plus pile. The debt cards that don't need shuffling because they're the exact same on front and back, they're going to go right here above the black rectangle. Then we have these, I believe they're called tavern cards, and they're just going to go right here. And we could just go ahead, let's just do it now. We're going to draw one for each player plus one. So in a two-player game, we're going to draw 3 of these cards, and there is some space on this part of the board. We're going to shuffle. I don't remember if these are whatever these are. These are like orders or favors. I don't know. But these red cards, we're going to randomly shuffle. There are 6 of them. And we're going to pick 3 at random and just lay them right here. And don't look at the others, especially if you're familiar with the game. The rest are going to go back into the box. And then the green ones, there are more of these green ones than there are of the red ones. And they're going to go in these other 5 spaces. Right. Oh my gosh, without looking at them, sorry, I was just on autopilot. That's embarrassing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just lay these across on these spaces face down. These are going to be revealed as the game goes on, and all of the remaining ones go back into the box. Like I said before, this is our first player token, so it's just going to go, I'll give it to the blue player. This will be the blue player over here. And as I said, we're going to give 1 box to the blue, 1 box to the red player. We just need to set the meeples out somewhere where they are visible. I don't know if it's visible here or not. But usually the way I do this is I just crack open the box and pour out the white meeples in the lid like that. And sure, we're going to, yeah, that's kind of on camera. All right, let's go get our player areas set up. Okay, so if this is your first time watching my channel, welcome, hello. But I always like to put papers underneath my player areas to distinguish as we move the camera around during gameplay who is who, especially in this game where the player boards are pretty much identical. And so I'm just going to go ahead and lay the blue player stuff, something like that. Why not? And as I said, they're going to be the first player for the first round. And we're going to go ahead and crack open this box so I can show you what we've got. So player box, same for everybody pretty much. I have a list of these things that go in this box there, but I also have it on the back. And so inside of this box, you're going to see all of these different things, including a bunch of building type things that we're going to lay on the board in just a second. And every player pretty much has the same set of 12 cards. The only difference is going to be the background. Why I said that weird? The background art. And so there should be 12 cards with a matching background. And aside from the background, those 12 cards are identical. Now, I kickstarted this game, and I'm not sure if that's why I have these promos or how they are provided, but there are 4 promo cards that I happen to have that have these they have these stars on them. Same background. I'm not going to be playing this with the promo cards, but as I mentioned before, there is a card that comes with the game that explains how to use these. I'm just going to go ahead and put those back in the box, and we'll be getting rid of this box in a second. But pretty much I'm going to dump out these contents. And what we need to do is we need to set up some different things. So we have these green buildings, and these need to go here. How am I going to do that? Yeah, usually overhead I like to tip things sideways so you can see it a little bit better. So we're going to kind of do that. Obviously in a normal game you just set it up normally, but we're going to be covering all of these spaces on this side with the green thing. One of my criticisms is I really wish they had some way to remind you without looking in the book that the green buildings go in this section here. I think one really simple way to do that would have been to put like a green outline or something around these spaces. But if you've forgotten, you kind of need to look it up. But either way, green go here in this first row of boxes. And I guess the reason why that especially becomes confusing is, for example, there are black flags here, so it might be tempting to put these black markers there, but nope, that's where the red ones go. Black ones go on these blue spaces. So again, I kind of just wish there was some way to denote where the different spaces were coming from, but, you know, whatever. All right, so we're going to get these here. I guess they're kind of is a way, which is that these black monk things here match this icon, so it goes close to that, but it's just not overly obvious to everyone. Okay, then red buildings are going to go on these spaces here. And again, in a normal game, you would just tip these up normally, but where we're doing an overhead camera, think this will look a little bit nicer. All right, get that put in its place, and that one. Okay, each player, as I mentioned, we have these 12 cards. These should be shuffled and placed on the side here. Each player will also have 3 flags, a black, a red, and a blue, representing faith, strength, and like influence or something. Oh man, I'm not going to be able to stack that very well here. Let's just lay them out. Maybe that'll be more visible. Yeah, influence, faith, and strength. All right, and then we have these pots. They all have numbers on them, 0 to 9, but there are a few numbers that get skipped, and you need to put them from least to greatest. So it goes 0, and then 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. So mostly you're skipping the even numbers except for the 8. That's there too. Okay, so that is the blue player all set up, almost. I'm going to take one more step, and also we're going to need some starting money and stuff. In fact, why don't we grab the starting money? You need 3 coins and 1 provision to start, and since I always forget to grab those, let's just add them somewhere amazing here. We're going to struggle on table space in this whole entire game. Okay, that's the blue player. Let's go do the same thing for the red player. Alright, so let's see here. Let's get the red player set up. I'll try to do this speedily. I do usually like to record all of the setup. It's very rare I skip stuff on camera because I want you to see how long it really does take to set up any particular game. Oh, that is not a good place for this. Let's adjust. There we go. That's much better. Okay. So, really fast because I know I'm going to forget. 3 silver, 1 provision, right there. Sure. Okay, same thing. Go ahead and take these out. You can see the background looks different on these cards than the other. Here are the promo cards. I'm just going to go ahead and leave those in the box. And we'll get rid of that in a second. Turn these over. Give them a quick shuffle. And go ahead and put those there. We'll dump these out. And once again, remember, green goes in these spots. Red over here. The black go right here, something like that. Okay, speed is the name of the game here. Oh, I'm going to slide those over so it's easy to reach, like that. Okay, so how's everybody's day? Good. I just got back yesterday from San Jose. I went to visit one of probably my best friend, who lives in San Jose. He was my gaming buddy here in Utah, and then he moved to California, and so now, usually the best way for me to get gaming time with other humans, instead of in front of a camera, is to fly to San Jose. So, I did it. I had a couple days off of work. We just had fall break at our school, and the timing was perfect. So, I just got back from San Jose where we got to play lots of games. It was tons of fun. I even mailed him a box of games before going to make sure that they were all there so I didn't have to pack them and check in a bag and all of that stuff. Okay, so we got the flags down that way. You can usually stack them, but I want to make sure they're visible for the gameplay. So then we'll get these pots in place. 0, 1, 3, 8, and 9. Cool. Okay, all right, here's what we're going to do now. Kind of the last part of setup is in reverse turn order, we're going to draft one of these cards from up here. Now, if you're just learning the game, this can be a little bit tricky to make things simple, and especially with the particular cards that I've drawn. But here's the recommendation that I go for when playing this with a person for the first time. On the player boards, you're going to see kind of these 5, I'm going to call them 5 instead of 6. I guess you could call it 6. Main actions that are going to be happening in the game. And I usually recommend for your first game, pick a card that shows one of those icons on the far left. Now, the only one of these cards that has that is going to be this guy. And just for recording purposes, since he kind of specializes in this blue action, I'm going to save him for the blue player. And I'm going to say that the red player will go ahead and take debt collector. I'm going to have him take this debt collector. So I'm going to give this to the red player. And let's see, I don't know that there's a great place to put this. I was going to put it here, but we're going to have a lot of stuff going on that side. So let's go ahead and put them on that side. Okay, so that's going to be a red player's starting special helper ability. And as I said, for recording purposes, we're going to go ahead and take this card, and you're going to see a lightning bolt. Some of these cards have lightning bolts. The one I just took didn't. That could give you an extra coin or an extra provisions. This guy is going to give the blue player, oh, he's going to go right here. Oh my gosh, what a mess. He's going to start off with an extra provision. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Oh, I'm reaching around the tripod. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and give that to the blue player. And those cards can be taken from any of these spots. You don't have to pay, like in game, we're going to have to pay these costs. We don't have to do that here. And so we're going to just go ahead and refill these for gameplay. There we go. And there's more of that that I was talking about. Hey, there's one of those actions. So whatever. If it's the first time, just say, pick somebody that looks cool. And then you can use that as you're teaching to like help guide them on what strategy they should be taking throughout the game. It should give them a good starting round. Okay. And with that, we are set up, ready to play. I know it looks a little bit messy here, but of course, usually after I do my intro to my gameplay video, I kind of spread stuff out a little bit more. But you can see this is a big table space using game. It's going to take up a ton of space. There's a lot to learn for such a small box, but that's my goal. So if you would like to see me teach you how to play this game and play an entire game, there's a link in the description of this video. Also, if you would like to make any of those boxes that I showed you, use the link in the description of this video to get there. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Make good choices. Bye-bye.